harm a hair on her foot, and I'll brain the lot of you.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. What an absolute embarrassment. What an absolute woke disaster. This 2024 may be the year of finally woke nonsense, woke media collapsing. Now, I'm wondering what that means for my career, but maybe it's okay. If people like me are out of work, that means people like you have better entertainment, better video games, and better politicians. But this is a year where we saw games like Concord or whatever it was called, $100 million woke trash game pulled from the shelves after 2 weeks. 2 weeks, full refunds issued to everybody. Absolute box office disasters for woke cinema like The Marvels, whose only real pitch to customers was whammon, brown whammon. And now the disastrous Lord of the Rings, the Ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong, Ring Spot. Are you even watching it anymore? I bet most of you aren't. I bet you this video won't even perform that well for me. Okay? This is a show that's entire offering to you was strong, independent whammon Galadriel, who was never a warrior, is suddenly a warrior and taking on ice trolls all by themselves. Watch or you're a bigot. Well, they have lost over 50% of their audience season over season, and it is an absolute unmitigated disaster. We're going to get into the numbers right after a word from this video sponsor. America, listen up. It's no coincidence we're seeing a surge in new health crises, just as critical decisions need to be made. First, obviously, the coof spike with 1.2 million new cases reported daily, and the WHO declaring, of course, Mpox a global health emergency. Now we're gearing up for a bird flu summit. It's clear they're setting the stage, perhaps, for more shenanigans. These aren't just coincidences. There could be calculated moves to keep us in fear and under control. Ask yourself, how prepared were you the last time? 48% of Americans don't even have emergency supplies. According to the National Center for Disaster Preparedness, we saw how the medical and pharmaceutical industries failed us last time, left us to fend for ourselves. Do you really want to count on them again? It's time to take control. Get the Contagion Emergency Kit from the Wellness Company. It's packed with ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, Z-Pak, Tamiflu, budesonide, and a nebulizer. The treatments they don't want you to have. Forget waiting in line or struggling to find a doctor willing to prescribe these things. Just a few clicks and the kit is at your door for whatever comes next. Don't let yourself be caught off guard. Again, be proactive, be prepared. Order your Contagion Emergency Kit today. I have one myself, and I definitely feel a little bit better just having it around. Visit twc.health/thequartering to get your Contagion Emergency Kit today. Use promo code thequartering at checkout to save $30. Once again, it's twc.health/thequartering to claim. Use code thequartering to claim your discount. Remember, these kits are limited and only available in the United States. Now, Samba TV, which is not necessarily representative of every single major television that could have watched any particular show. But what we do know is the number of TVs that it does track, okay, is equal, right? So if its viewership is down 10%, that's likely representative of the entire market. So Samba talked about the first season. 1.8 million U.S. households watched the premiere of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power during its first 4 days. Okay, this is important because the propaganda is even pathetic. Just to give you put that in perspective, okay? 4 houses, okay? I'm sorry, in 4 days, 1.8 million views. Yesterday, my YouTube channel alone had 1.9 million views. Now, how many of those are, unique? Okay, but you get a just to put things in perspective. All right. Now season 2 comes out. Everyone's already forgotten about it. Just 900,000 U.S. household watched the first episode of Rings of Power season 2 in 5 days. So they added an entire day, and they still were down by more than 50%. These, you see a lot of the comments, huh? So people don't like it when the franchises they love are being completely gutted just so some white woke writers can brag to their fellow white woke friends that they wrote the wokest show ever? I mean, I would say so. You see Hugh McIntyre saying it hits the charts, fails. Rings of Power Season 2 premiere review. A dreadful, jumbled mockery of Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings from Eric Kane. I have somehow made it through the first 3 episodes of the Rings of Power Season 2 on Prime Video through the show's sophomore effort, and it did not make this either pleasant nor easy for me. The trappings of a decent epic fantasy are here. It looks good except for when it looks like a movie set. It sounds nice, though Barry McCreary's score is not particularly memorable, but that's about it. Season 2, if anything, is worse than Season 1, or at least it's messier. Sure, it picks up the action a little bit, but somehow the soulless Season 1 feels downright poignant compared to whatever this second season brings to the table. I'm astonished both by its lack of coherent storytelling and its utter absence of anything like heart, no matter how many times the characters say very deep things to one another as music swells dramatically and loudly to instruct us how to feel. The creators of the show, McKay and J.D. Payne, took Tolkien's work and made their own world out of it, borrowing little bits and pieces in order to market it to a wider audience. They have given us a sprawling Middle-earth made up of patchwork Tolkien-esque pieces, a clumsy but grand Frankenstein monsters of a show. What they've forgotten to do is give us any reason at all to care. You know, obviously they're more concerned with, they're more concerned with orcs appearing human and protecting their families and need safe and giving them safe spaces than staying actually authentic to the source material. You can see this. I mean, this is what's hilarious. Okay. I don't know if they're going to claim this video or not, but orcs just want a safe place to raise their kids, be evil, and practice their corrupted form of life in peace.
We are safe here. We have a home.
Orcs just are safe and want a home to raise their kid. Do you know why they're doing this? Let me actually tell you why this is a thing. It's because white people, okay, guaranteed they're all white, overweight women that think this, think orcs are black people. I am not kidding you. If you do a simple Google search, you will see that this narrative has been pushed by woke, white, overweight women for the past 15 years. Look at this article from Wired. 2021, D&D must grapple with the racism in fantasy. Orcs are human beings that can be removed without conscience or apology. This damning assessment is one of the fantasy's most ubiquitous villains. I mean, what? Literally what? How about this? Dear Tolkien, black people exist. What? You know, again, what? Dungeons and Dragons, even. This is, this has been a D&D thing because D&D got woke a long time ago. Why were people saying orcs being inherently, aggressive is an issue with race? I'm black, but I've never felt a comparison between me and an orc since I am not an orc. But I saw this wiki for D&D and saw they thought that there was some comparison between the two, so they changed the ability scores or whatnot. Sorry, I don't play D&D that much. I find it much more racist to point out that there's even any comparison between that of my people and orcs because of stereotypes about black people and orcs being inherently aggressive. It's like when they are saying orcs were racist because they use black actors for the ORCS, or they compared the stereotypes of my people to the inherent aggressiveness of that group. Again, the left is the real racist. You can see this. I've heard the orc black conspiracy before. It's just something that people looking for something to be angry about have found. It's as dumb as saying elves are Native American because now they have skills. Humans in D&D have many skin tones, including black. So saying this one certain race is a stand-in for real-world black people is nonsense. The racism in D&D is very real because they are truly different races. I mean, this is why they made the orcs woke. That is the real reason. A lot of people don't know that, right? Grums writes, the obsession with making the bad guys just, quote, misunderstood is destroying the genre. Let evil be a simple thing and heroics be simple, just reaction. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Orc lives matter. The orcs and the Tusken Raiders can get together and make a misunderstood baddies group. It would make for more interesting content for either show that they're in. What if orcs were just like really oppressed minority? This is like this is the perfect meme. You know, drinking your yerba mate lemon elation organic brand whatever. Your tea. Yeah, like that's exactly right. Sir, the orcs are here. Well, don't be racist. Let them in. This has been a long-running trope. This is the finally the last nail in the coffin of this show. And here's leftoid outlet Nerdist, which tried to cancel their own creator or founder, wasn't it? What is his name? He was running Talking Dead, and then they tried to say he was an evil guy. Why can't I think of his name? They canceled him for lies. It's like it doesn't matter. You know who I'm talking about. Yes, there was a baby orc and an orc family on the Rings of Power. Get over it. Baby orcs? What? What? Orcs reproduce like men and elves. That means an orc baby is totally valid. I mean, orc families and friends. Stop trying to humanize them. Again, all of this, just so I can remind you, all of this is because woke white people think orcs are black. That has never been what they were or as a stand-in. That has never existed. They have projected that upon the orcs. So if you are white and if you are black and you hear this, especially from one of your white quote-unquote allies, just know that they secretly think you are low IQ and unable to control your impulses and aggressive. That's what they think about you. Because nobody has ever said orcs are anything but orcs, except for woke whites. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. We'll talk to you again real soon.